guys, what is up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I hope you guys are doing amazing. If you're new here, welcome. We have a lot to talk about. If you are not new here, welcome. We have a lot to talk about.
You know that you're beautiful, just the way you are, just the way you came. Don't you know that you're beautiful, no matter what the scars, no matter.
So, as you guys can tell by the title of this video, this is my 9-month update. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. I am down over 100 pounds, but I am down 100 pounds from my surgery. So I had gastric bypass August 28th, 2020, and this has been the most incredible thing I've ever done in my entire life. It has been the hardest, it has been the most rude, the most life-changing thing I have ever done in my life. There has been a lot of hardship in this, and there has been the most incredible things that I could have ever imagined because I decided to change my life in this way. So I think it's very, very important that as I talk about this, I let you guys know that the gastric bypass for me was not my first option. I wanted to lose weight so bad, I guess like the natural way, whatever you want to call it, but unfortunately for me, it wasn't gonna happen. And I'm so glad that I recognized that, because I would not be in the place that I am if I would have never recognized that. Now, that's not gonna be the same for every person. I personally don't believe every single person needs this surgery, but I do believe that this surgery is gonna be life-changing for so many people. So, what did I do? How did I get here? What made me decide on gastric bypass? So, I actually watched my mom go through gastric bypass, and it was incredible. She is very, very close to her goal weight, which is absolutely amazing. She's doing amazing, and it was just very inspiring to me. I have been overweight my entire life, literally from 9 years old up until obviously now. I do not remember a time in my life where I wasn't trying to diet, I wasn't trying to do something. I mean, if there's a diet out there, the odds of me not knowing what it is or that I haven't tried it, it's like very slim, or it's brand new. With that being said, I've pretty much tried every diet you can think of. I'm a firm believer diets don't work. So how did I decide to go with the gastric bypass? That's a question that I get a lot. The sleeve was never an option for me because I had acid reflux. Might I add. It was never even on the table. I didn't learn anything about it, anything like that. My surgeon kind of said, we're not doing the sleeve. So that's how we ended up with the bypass. And to be honest, I was going to go with the bypass anyways. For some reason, that's just what my gut was going with, and I never questioned it. My journey with bypass started 6 months before I actually had my surgery, so I had to lose weight beforehand. There was no specific amount that I had to lose. However, I did end up losing about 20-something pounds or something like that. So my heaviest weight was 360 pounds and my surgery weight was 334. And I'm currently down to 234. So yeah, that is absolutely incredible, and I'm so proud of myself for that. I am a totally different person than I was when I was at 360 pounds. You know, to talk about some obviously non-scale victories, my confidence level went from, I would say it was like a here. She's at a here now. She's not even in the frame anymore. You cannot tell me anything. It's crazy. I'm really glad that I started getting into makeup pretty much right before my surgery. It gave me like another activity, another hobby to kind of get into, and I didn't realize how important that was, because I guess I was like lacking hobbies and activities and kind of stuff to keep me busy, and I didn't realize that. Makeup was a really big thing for me, and I think that if you're somebody that's looking into getting the bypass or sleeve or whatever, weight loss surgery in general, you know, really think about what you're gonna do in the meantime, because you're no longer gonna have that food. And that was something that I didn't realize was going to be such a big deal. So I'm really glad I got into makeup and all that kind of stuff. So what has changed for me? Well, obviously my clothing size has drastically changed. So I went from a 3X, 4X in some things, a size 24, 26 in pants, and I am now currently down to, I can fit into an extra large, 1X, depending on clothing brand, where it's from. I'm almost completely out of Torrid clothing, and my pant size is, I can fit from a 12 all the way up to a 16. It just depends on what the pant is, where it's from, and the style, all that kind of stuff. Like if it's like American Eagle super skinny jeans, then I'm a 16 or 14. Depends on if it's got stretch or not. But at like Torrid, I'm a 12 pretty much. 12 to 14, just depends on the style, I guess. So that's incredible. I've literally had to get new bras. I actually had to go down in underwear too. That was crazy. It was literally sagging so much. Dresses, I'm down to a 1X, which is just incredible. I told myself once I got this surgery that I would no longer be dieting. Like I don't do keto, I don't do any type of low carb thing. If I'm eating low carb, it's just because that's how I'm eating. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, I can't have carbs or anything like that. Actually, in my program, and when you got to like 8 months or something like that, you're allowed to have, you know, carbs or whatever. So I stopped telling myself that food was good or bad. Food is fuel. However, you know, if certain foods make me feel sick, I'm not going to eat them. Fried foods still make me sick. If I eat like a lot of mayonnaise or something, more than I would say 2 tablespoons, it'll make me sick. Butter makes me sick. And really anything fried makes me sick. Look, I don't try very often with like fried foods, but I do not go there. Like that, I just kind of stay away from it. It's not like a fear food or anything, so to speak, but it's like I just don't want to deal with it. You know, I don't want to get sick, because in the first couple months, that was something that I really struggled with, was getting sick a lot. And I was very, very worried about my teeth. Luckily, we ain't got yellow teeth, nothing like that. We're all good. I did the Stairmaster for 3 minutes, the whole 7 ring song, so that was amazing. I haven't done the stairs since I had my surgery, up until like last week, so that was incredible. My workouts have been amazing. I feel really strong. I can lift 126 pounds, or 125 I should say, because I wanted to see if I could. Altogether, I've lost 126 pounds from 360 to 234, so yeah. I decided to lift and see if I could do it, and I can. Which, it was very shocking to lift that and see, oh, that's what I used to carry around on my body. Like, it really makes you put into perspective, like, how much damage that could do to your body if you walk around with that for sustained periods of time. Another thing that's changed for me that I didn't think anything of this until now, it's like out of place for me if I don't do it. So I started showering different after surgery. Like this started happening like 3 months ago, I would say. You know, TikTok influences everything, and I got on Shower Talk, okay? So obviously before I had surgery, I showered every single day. That wasn't an issue, whatever. But my showers now are so different. Not only am I able to shave a lot easier and get into my bathtub so much easier, I like have a full system that I have to do now. I have to light a candle, I need a scrub, I need a good smelling soap. Like, I have quite a few different soaps in my bathroom. And before I had surgery, we had like maybe 1 or 2 at the max of like different smelling soaps. I have like a whole thing. I have like a whole thing of lotion now. Obviously my skincare routine is like, you know, I do it every single day, every morning, that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't do that before. I just like got in, washed myself and got out. Now it's like a whole process. And I think it's really important to recognize that and realize those little moments, because it's like, I didn't do those self-care things that bring me so much joy. And I didn't realize I needed that so much. And I've literally talked about it quite a few times on my Instagram, but it's like, I can't stress it enough. I literally didn't do that. Like, I just got in, got out, and I was done, and I was like, whatever, and went on with my unhappy day. Not anymore. Not over here, baby. So my mood, I actually feel like I have more mood swings now than I did before. I was just a constant gloomy little cloud before I had my surgery. Like, I was just kind of constantly sad. And now I kind of have like different mood swings. Like, I'm really happy. I will say that. I'm really happy all the time. However, I feel like my moods just like switch just like that. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know if that has to do with how I feel about certain things and whatnot, but yeah. So my mood switches a lot more now. However, with that being said, I do want to kind of go into some things that have changed, you know, kind of around me as far as like losing weight. So nobody warned me that when you lose weight, all of a sudden people want to talk to you. All of a sudden people want to hold doors for you. All of a sudden guys are interested in you on a whole other level. So I have to really work with myself on not being upset with people that didn't know me before I lost my weight. You know what I mean? That is something that I really struggle with, because I still feel like that person that was 360 pounds. I still see that person in the mirror, so I constantly doubt myself, and I constantly am like, are you sure? That's been something that I wasn't prepared for with losing weight, is having this like, you know, this little, like the angel and the devil on your shoulder. Like, one part of me is like, you're the baddest bitch on this earth, like you did that thing. And then the other part of me is like, okay, but you're still this very insecure girl that was 360 pounds. Like, you're never gonna lose that part of you. And that was a reality that I wasn't ready for. I mean, I feel like my dad kind of told me over and over again that you're still gonna feel like that person, and he wasn't wrong. So yeah, I struggle with that quite a bit, you know, feeling like I'm that person. And when guys try to talk to me and stuff like that, I'm like, why are you trying to talk to me? You literally wouldn't have looked my way 9 months ago. Like, you literally like at me 9 months ago, and now I'm acceptable. That's been something that's like hard to deal with. So I'm just telling you guys to let you guys know, start therapy, get into therapy, talk to your therapist about this, because it's something that is very, very kind of like disheartening. The way people treat you after you lose weight is crazy. Very crazy. Now, it doesn't mean that you're still not gonna get treated like you were when you were bigger by some people, because, you know, some people still see a person that is overweight, and unfortunately there are just some people that are shallow in that way. So that doesn't mean that you're still not gonna, you know, deal with that kind of stuff, you know, as you're getting to your goal weight and the process of that or whatever. But the reality of it is, you know, once you get to a certain amount down, people do start to treat you different. People that you know and people that you don't even know. So that is something to prepare yourself for, and that's my reality too. So that sucks. Like, it is what it is, but it sucks. So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about hair loss as well. So my biggest recommendation for hair loss, 1000%, is going to be Gen Pro. I work with Gen Pro, by the way. There is a discount code on the screen. I don't make any money off that code or anything like that. That's just a support code for you guys. So when I stopped taking Gen Pro, my hair started falling out. As soon as I added it back in, my hair stopped falling out. My biggest tip, make sure you are getting in enough protein. Like, I'm telling you, don't worry about the carbs, don't worry about any of that other stuff. Make sure you're getting in your protein. The protein is what's gonna make your hair fall out. My camera said, peace out, Girl Scout. I'm not gonna focus. I was only not taking Gen Pro for a week, and when I take it, you don't have to drink it like a protein shake. So my favorite way to actually, I guess, use Gen Pro is to put it in like a pasta sauce, or to put it in my yogurt with some cereal on it for a little crunch. Love it. So I feel like with that, some people are gonna get upset, like, oh my god, you eat carbs. Yes, I do. And I have a totally different relationship with food now. So instead of just eating a whole bowl of cereal like I used to, or 3 like I used to, I use cereal as like a topping now, and like stuff like that. Like, I don't demonize food anymore, and I don't think you should either. Like, I want you to have a healthy relationship with food. Now, there will be times where I choose to, like, let's say we make burgers for dinner. I will choose to put my little patty on a bed of lettuce and decide to eat that. I personally think it's all about balance. I don't know if you've ever seen those emojis that are like all salads and then the person ends up binging. We're not doing that over here. I did have a moment where I started to struggle. It was a long moment, might I add. So for 2 months, I did not lose weight. And that was literally because I was self-sabotaging and I was back into my binge and restrict cycle. Now, by no means were the binges what they used to be, but they definitely felt like what they used to be. And I was being very hard on myself. Obviously the pressure of social media came in, and I was just being mean to myself. I was just telling myself, why did you get this surgery if you're gonna do this kind of stuff? Why did you decide to do this if you were just gonna go back to your old eating habits and blah blah blah? Just being so mean to myself. Listening to some of these comments that are from, you know, strangers, and even like the Facebook bariatric groups, so judgmental, and it makes you look at yourself a little bit different. So I had to take a second, take a little breather, and just be like, okay, what am I doing that is getting me to this result of not losing weight? I had to take a step back. I really had to just, I don't know, get it together, and I did, fortunately. And that's when I really took in a moment and said, okay, I'm no longer demonizing food. I was saying I wasn't demonizing food, but in reality I was. So I no longer do that. I no longer say, oh, you can't have a carb. If you had a carb here, you can't do that. I focus on protein more than anything. So yeah, protein and veggies are like my top priority, because if you know why we need veggies, you know. The fiber, girl, the fiber. Make sure you are getting in your fiber. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into the next part. So I do not take any type of fiber supplements. I know a lot of bariatric patients use like Miralax and stuff like that. I just don't. I don't like to. I don't want to. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's really weird. I'm just not, I don't know. I just don't want to. So I don't. And making sure that I'm focusing on really fibrous foods with high iron, all that kind of stuff. I'm literally talking about spinach. That's what really helps me, if you know what I'm talking about here. That's what helps me. It's just making sure that I'm getting in fibrous vegetables and stuff like that. And obviously for me, that would come before a carb. So like the way I eat my plate is I will eat protein first, then I will eat my vegetable, and then I will eat my carb if there's still room. Now, every plate is gonna look different. I know I do my what I eat in a day videos pretty much every Wednesday. Some days I miss, but whatever. I pretty much, like, my plates vary. Some days I'm hungrier than others. Some days I can barely eat anything. And it's just like, it's a balance, for sure. One thing that I started doing recently though was I started tracking my calories. And I know at the beginning of my surgery I said that was probably something I would never do because I would binge because of it. Well, I wasn't doing it, and I was still binging. Like, I was having issues with binge eating disorder, obviously. And I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna demonize food, and then I'm also going to, at the same time, track my calories. Just to see what I'm eating in a day, just to see how much, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I did, and I realized very, very quickly, oh my gosh, like my total daily energy expenditure changed. So I actually would need to, you know, refigure out my calories and all that kind of stuff. If you guys need to figure that out, I would definitely just go look up a TDEE calculator. But I'm in personal training school, so I kind of need to know that aspect. I'm not a dietitian or anything like that. So yeah, I recognized very quickly that my total daily energy expenditure has changed, basically meaning that I burn less calories if I'm not active than obviously I used to. And that's going to happen when you lose weight. It's literally because your body doesn't need as much energy to make it run, basically. So I realized that I was just eating too much and I needed to kind of get that together. So with that being said, I was not focusing on super high calorie foods. I was looking for higher volume foods with low amounts of calories. And when I started doing that, obviously like high volume foods you can't eat like super huge amounts of because of the bypass surgery, but like, you know, I make like a salad every single day, and I make like, you know, for my little stomach, a pretty big salad, and I just eat the protein first and then I focus on getting in as many greens as I can. Obviously I don't usually end up finishing the plate, but you know, I get as many greens in as I can. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm focusing on just eating healthy, I guess. Like that's, when it comes down to it, I'm just eating healthy. Like there's no magic pill, there's nothing that's gonna make you eat better. And I cannot stress that enough. Like even if you have the surgery, there's nothing that is going to make you eat better. You have to choose that every single day. You have to choose to exercise. Like the surgeon is not going to move your feet for you. The surgeon is not going to put the food in your stomach. It has to be up to you. With that being said, that's where I'm going to leave it off. It's been 9 months and this has been the most incredible journey of my entire life. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. Like, you guys seriously inspire me every single day to be the best version of myself, to push myself, to literally keep going when I don't feel like it. So thank you guys so, so much. I love you, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that 1-year update. I'm definitely going to put way more in there. We're going to sit there and have a little chit chat about all of that. So thank you guys. I will be here tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.